Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 10 places on Earth where you're not allowed to visit.
Number 10. CocaCola Vault, Atlanta, USA. Now, number 10 might seem a bit weird. What could be so precious that Coca-Cola would seal off a vault and refuse to let people in?
Maybe Coca-Cola have the secret recipe to Coca-Cola. To be fair, it's a massive business, like it's a multi-billion-dollar company. If I were the CEO, I'd want to seal everything off as well.
It's literally just soda, right? Well, you might be wrong on that front. Now, here's something that's quite interesting. The recipe for Coca-Cola is considered one of the best kept secrets in the world.
So Coca-Cola is the equivalent to a Krabby Patty. Nobody knew what was in a Krabby Patty and nobody knows what's in Coke. Apparently the secret ingredient was actual crabs because Mr. Crab was the only crab in the Bikini Bottoms. Are Coke putting like drugs in their drinks?
And they keep it secret by stowing it away in a large security vault. Since the recipe was first created in the late 1880s in Atlanta by biochemist John Pemberton, Coca-Cola has jealously guarded it with all they've got. In 2011, the company decided to move the famous Coca-Cola recipe to an Atlanta museum, but while many tourists visit the facilities each year, few and exclusive are the people who can get through the doors of the vault.
That's actually quite cool. Imagine being able to say you know what the Coca-Cola recipe is. I feel like a group of criminals would definitely kidnap somebody and like torture them to get the recipe out of them. They could probably sell it for billions.
Number 9. Room 39, North Korea.
Okay, so this one's in North Korea, so of course nobody's gonna know what it's like inside. Literally nobody can get into North Korea and nobody can get out of it. It's very hard to do so.
I really don't think it's possible to miss North Korea on a list of places where you're not allowed to do things. Also referred to as Bureau 39, Office 39, or Division 39. Room 39 is a secretive building that the North Korean government has committed to securing foreign currency for the nation's leaders.
North Korea is such a secretive country, like we don't actually know what goes on in that country. Thinking about it now, that's like a lot of countries like Russia, China, America, North Korea. All these countries are so secretive, like so many things go on over there that we will never know about. It's crazy.
Room 39 was created sometime in the late 70s and is said to be located inside the Workers' Party building in Pyongyang, taking its name, according to some sources, from the office it occupied at the party headquarters in its early days. The organization is estimated to bring in between $500 million to $1 billion per year or more, and may be involved in illegal activities such as counterfeiting $100 bills, producing controlled substances, sales of weapons, and even international insurance fraud.
So basically North Korea is committing a load of crimes. That country's so unstable. Like apparently from an outsider's perspective it's meant to look lavish and like nice to live in, but from like an insider's perspective apparently the whole place is falling apart.
Although there isn't much official data on the room due to the secrecy of its activities, still we'll never really know because this is one of the most secret organizations in arguably the world's most secretive state.
Exactly, so we're literally never gonna know the answer. So many bad things could be happening in North Korea and we will never know.
Number 8. North Sentinel, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands, an archipelago in the Bay of Bengal, which also includes South Sentinel Island.
If I am correct, I'm pretty sure tribes live in this island and they've never really had any human contact. I swear journalists or like a photographer got onto the island and they literally killed him and like left his body there to go out to sea. This is one place you don't want to go. I think they're not allowing people there, so it means that they don't like mix with the people and change them. It must be so scary for them being in a tribe and seeing us human. They must think we're aliens.
While the rest of the islands in this archipelago are somewhat larger and better known, North Sentinel, full of mangroves and surrounded by coral, has remained virtually untouched by the outside world. It might sound like paradise, but the island couldn't be further from it. This island remains one of the most untouched because it's inhabited by one of the world's few remaining uncontacted tribes. The indigenous people of this island, referred to as the Sentinelese, have had practically no influence from the modern world.
Isn't that like so crazy? We've been in this world for like thousands of years, but these people have never really came across us and like mixed with us. I feel like we should definitely keep it that way because it means that they can keep their history going, and then maybe someday in the future they could send a couple of them people over to us and we could learn from them. That could happen, or maybe it'll never happen. I guess we'll just have to wait to see.
As they have voluntarily rejected any contact from the outside or modern world. For as long as history has kept record, every encounter with the population has been met with violence. In 2006, they killed 2 fishermen whose boat had been dragged by the current to their shores. In fact, in more recent probes, it seems that the Sentinelese have put up a 3-mile restriction zone that crosses the island to prevent visitors from entering the territory.
So they really don't want to come across us. I mean, they don't blame us. Our human race is a mess and I don't want to infect them. That would actually be quite good because they could probably like protect themselves from COVID. We also have to keep in mind they're like indigenous, so like they do their things in their own way. So maybe they could be putting themselves at risk.
With those kinds of measures, it's no wonder that the Indian government has stopped trying to make contact with them. Honestly, I'd say just leave them alone too.
I mean, at least the government is stopping people from like contacting them. Maybe we should just leave them on their own. Like, they seem peaceful, they've got their families, their food, their animals. Let's just let them live life.
Number 7. Snake Island, Brazil.
I think I've heard of this island. It's literally covered in snakes and it's terrifying. Imagine an island filled with snakes. This is literally what this island is.
Off the coast of Brazil, there is a beautiful island with tropical weather, rainforests, and a great coastline. It's too bad neither you or anyone else can really go there. Formerly known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, Snake Island is deemed an uninhabitable island that is located just off the Brazilian coastline.
They literally said that we can't live there, yet there was a building there. Maybe somebody lived there one point in their lives and then they got eaten by snakes. There's lots of this world that we've not discovered, so maybe there's like snakes the size of like dogs. Imagine getting eaten by a snake.
Estimates claim that there is one snake for every 3 square feet in some spots. Wondering how all those snakes got trapped there? It said that the snakes got trapped on the island when rising sea levels covered up the land that connected to the mainland. Ilha da Queimada Grande is also the home to the world's most dangerous snake, the golden lancehead snake, whose venom eats through flesh and can kill in an hour or less.
Okay, so that's perfectly fine. Let's keep them snakes on that island. The most venomous snakes on the world, which can literally kill you in an hour and a half, are on that island, so let's keep them there. We don't need them. Why are people trying to go over there?
The Brazilian government has restricted access to the island and only grants visits to the Navy to look after the lighthouse. And these visits are always conducted with a doctor present, as bites can cause internal bleeding, kidney failure, and certainly death. You might think the restrictions are for the protection of people, but the real reason the island is closed to the public is to protect the critically endangered snakes from poaching, as these snakes are so rare that snake smugglers sell them for up to $30,000 on the black market.
So them snakes can literally be sold for 30 grand. Do you want to know something? We need to protect the snakes. Let's not go near the island. We need to let the snake smugglers lose all their money and protect these snakes.
Number 6. Bangar Fort, India. Now we're taking a long trip from South America to India again. Between Jaipur and Alwar in Rajasthan lie the ruins of what many would describe as one of India's most splendid kingdoms. Bangar Fort was built by the ruler of Amber Kashwa for his youngest son in the late 1500s. Historians claim that the fort bustled with life and people until its population started dwindling gradually in 1783 when a fierce famine came, ultimately forcing the villagers still living there to flee.
Wait, so the villagers fled that area and they've literally left their buildings there? So this used to be a home of people? Oh my god, don't go into that. You're literally going into a dead person's home. It's kind of freaky because they're literally walking around where people used to live. Think of it, the house you're in right now could be old and somebody could have like lived there before you and died. The world's a scary place.
Local legends state that the reason for the kingdom falling into ruin after the famine chased its people out was that the fort was cursed. And what do we do when things are said to be cursed? That's right. We leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. And for some reason, people have literally explored them. Do you want to know something? We need to let these people get cursed because they deserve it.
The Bangar Fort is the only legally recognized haunted place in all of India, as a government permit is required to gain access to the fort before dawn or after sundown. The fort is now said to be the home to wild, nocturnal animals like tigers and whatnot.
Okay, so apparently tigers live there. Why would you want to go where a tiger lives? These people are gonna get eaten. Also, think of it. There used to be like diseases back in the day years ago. So there could be an animal running around there like a rat with the Black Death. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna get bitten and an awful disease is gonna come back.
Number 5. Surtsey Island, Iceland. 57 years ago, in the Vestmannaeyjar archipelago off the southern coast of Iceland, a volcanic eruption began 130 meters below sea level and resulted in the formation of an island called Surtsey Island. Scientists had the unique opportunity to observe the birth and evolution of an ecosystem from almost nothing. This fascinating event is precisely what makes its access restricted to the rest of the world. Known as one of the youngest islands on the planet, Surtsey is off limits because researchers don't want anyone or anything external to interfere with the evolution process. Due to water and wind erosion, the island has been decreasing in size since then. Research by the Surtsey Research Society has estimated that according to the current rate of erosion, Surtsey could be at sea level by the year 2100.
Wait, so the island literally was formed 50 years ago and it's going to be underwater in 100 years. It's quite crazy to think that that's how islands are formed. The land that we're currently on was technically formed like that. The world's a crazy place, isn't it?
Number 4. Paviglia, Italy. Located in northern Italy between Venice and Lido, within the Venetian lagoon, there is something you should see. Or not see. You know what I mean. Paviglia is a small island that has been many things, seen many things, and heard many things throughout history. Paviglia has served as a fort, a shipping checkpoint, a quarantine station for the bubonic plague.
Okay, so it's been used for a lot of things. I want to know why it's cut off to the public. Like, I literally get so interested watching these videos.
And lastly, a psychiatric hospital. So this island would certainly have seen a lot of death and tragedy, hence why the psychiatric hospital was closed down in 1968, and the island was abandoned. The reason for closing down the asylum and abandoning the island might be exactly what you're thinking. Paviglia has long been considered one of the most haunted places on Earth.
So basically it's haunted. I want to go to haunted places, but I'm literally terrified and too scared to. Maybe I'll do a video one day where I go to this island. I probably won't, but it's a possibility.
Many claim that the island is haunted by the ghosts of plague victims, war victims, and the ghost of the murderous asylum doctor roaming the decaying grounds. In a bid to put the wasting land to use, any use, the Italian government offered the island up for a long-term lease, 99 years in 2014, in the hope that someone would redevelop the land. So far, no one has taken them up on the offer, and honestly, can you blame them?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't blame them. The land is literally haunted. What do you do with haunted land? It's not like they can blow it up and like suck it into the ocean. I mean, they probably could, but that wouldn't be good.
Number 3. Vatican Secret Archive, Italy. If you're a real history buff, paying a visit to the Vatican's secret archives might sit at the very top of your bucket list. Sadly, it most probably will never get ticked off. Buried and hidden deep within the walls of Vatican City, and several feet deep in the ground, are the Vatican's secret archives, which are home of the immense history and the acts of the Holy See, along with historic documents, state papers, papal account books, and other official correspondence, some of which are said to go as far back as the 8th century.
So this is basically like a massive history room. Do you want to know something? We do need to protect that, like it's history. There's crazy people nowadays that will literally do whatever they can to destroy stuff. I don't understand why they do it. They're crazy and they want attention.
Imagine all that historical yumminess all in one place. However, if you're a tourist, journalist, student, or even amateur historian, you're still out of luck, as only carefully accredited scholars can get their hands on unique documents, like the 1493 papal bull that split the New World between Spain and Portugal, or the petition asking for the annulment of King Henry VIII's marriage to Catherine of Aragon in 1530.
Exactly, you guys, we've got to protect the history. History is history, like it happened and it's never gonna happen again.
Number 1. Area 51, USA. Area 51 is arguably one of the most secretive places on Earth. Also called Groom Lake, the United States Air Force Base's purpose remains unknown to the public.
Remember when everyone tried to storm Area 51? That was such a weird time. Like, we never actually got into it, but people like tried to. A lot of people want to know what's going on in Area 51, and I think it's to do with aliens and like technology. I mean, it's the American government, so they're obviously up to something.
Leading to wild speculations and conspiracy theory. It's commonly thought that top secret aircraft and weapons technologies have been developed and tested in Area 51 since the facility was established by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in 1955. Others believe that the area is home or prison to UFOs. Although Area 51 was never declared a secret base, it took until 2005 for the US government to publicly acknowledge its existence.
So basically the government tried to leave it as long as possible before they were like, yeah, it is actually a place. That's sketchy. I mean, it could be an innocent place where they test things, or maybe it's something evil. I read a conspiracy theory online that apparently this world's a simulation or like a game, and the only way to end the game or get out of the game is to go into Area 51 and go for a door. It kind of sounds like rubbish, but it is a possibility. Anyways, guys, that was the end of the video. That was 10 places on Earth where you're not allowed to visit. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, press the big red subscribe button, and just I'll see you all in my next video.